Hi folks, and welcome to this 2022 review of the Apple TV 4K. I'm a long-term Apple TV user, having owned the last 3 generations. I use it on a daily basis for all my TV and movie streaming. As well as a concise review of this product, I'm going to discuss if this is still worth buying in 2022, why you might want one, share some key settings, and also discuss whether you should upgrade if you already own the previous generation. This latest model came out in 2021 and is the second generation of the 4K Apple TV devices. Design-wise, not much has changed to the core product. This minimalist black box looks pretty much identical to the previous generation. This is a small, neat product that won't take up much space in your TV unit. On the rear we have the power connection alongside gigabit Ethernet and HDMI 2.1 ports. This is an upgrade over the HDMI 2 on the previous generation. HDMI 2.1 is more future-proof and can handle 120 FPS content, even if there isn't much of it right now. Unfortunately, a HDMI 2.1 cable is not included in the box. Apple TV has 2 storage capacity options, 32 or 64 gigabytes. I have the 32, as this is essentially a streaming device, so you don't actually store content on there. You'd only need the 64 gig if you plan to download a huge amount of apps and games. Apple TV 4K supports both Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, as well as AirPlay. AirPlay will enable you to share photos and videos from your phone to your big TV in their full resolution. The big design change for this generation is in the new Siri remote control. This is a major improvement on the previous model. Firstly, with the D-pad added around the trackpad, this enables more precise navigational control when needed. The other useful addition is a mute button. The mute button works system-wide, so as well as muting my Apple TV, it can also mute my PS5 and amplifier. For someone like me, this is a big deal, as this is now the only remote I need to use on a daily basis. There's also now a dedicated power button, with the Siri button being relocated to the right-hand side of the remote. As well as the new buttons, I must say the new remote just feels much nicer in hand and in user operation, so this alone is definitely a nice upgrade. It's worth noting that the remote control charges via the Lightning to USB cable that is included in the box. Each charge lasts an impressively long amount of time, so you should only need to recharge every few months. This second generation Apple TV 4K features the A12 Bionic chip. This is a fairly minor update over the A10X used in the previous generation. It may offer a small speed bump, but in daily operation I couldn't notice much difference. However, it will be slightly more future-proof and receive updates for longer, so whilst it isn't a major silicon upgrade, it could prove beneficial in the long run. The dedicated tvOS is smooth and responsive in operation, whilst the App Store has a large collection of apps that should cater for all your streaming needs. Apps can easily be rearranged and organised, folders can be created, just like you can on your iPhone or iPad. Speaking of iPhone, this can also be used as a remote control for Apple TV. This can be useful if your remote is charging or out of reach. It's also handy for quickly typing in passwords to log into any new apps that you've downloaded. Now, some of you may be wondering what the point of Apple TV really is. After all, you can get most of the streaming apps it uses on your smart TV. For me, there's a few key reasons. Firstly, Apple TV is much nicer and faster to use than any smart TV on the market. It will also surely receive updates and app support for far longer. The second key reason is picture quality. Apple TV 4K uses some of the very best bit rates for TV and movie streaming available. I have a fairly expensive OLED TV, so I want the best quality I can get for the streaming content that I watch. I own hundreds of movies with Apple, many of which are 4K Dolby Vision. The relatively high bit rates really do make a difference as to how they actually look. Another feature I love are the 4K Screensavers that you can download and use with Apple TV. These are beautifully filmed and can be controlled with the remote. It's also a nice touch that you can listen to music via Spotify or Apple Music and keep these screensavers playing. Apple TV gives you full control over resolution, dynamic range and frame rates. As far as I know, no other platform offers these settings. This can be useful in a number of situations, Sometimes content doesn't play in the correct frame rate or dynamic range. With Apple TV you can force it to play correctly. The Match Dynamic Range option is also useful if you have an OLED TV like me. I don't want the home screen with all the logos and icons to be constantly in HDR, as this isn't ideal with regards to potential screen burning. So I have the home screen set to SDR with a lower screen brightness, and with Match Dynamic Range on, any Dolby Vision or HDR content will automatically play with max brightness and dynamic range. Let's briefly talk gaming. To be honest, I have a PS5, so I don't game much on Apple TV, but there are a reasonable number of games with tvOS support that you can download and enjoy. There's also Apple Arcade, which is a subscription service offering access to more game titles. I personally don't find the remote control is very well suited to gaming, but you can pair third-party controllers, which significantly improves the experience. So whilst it will never compete with your Xbox or PlayStation, Apple TV can happily be used for casual or family video games. To conclude, if you're interested in streaming your movies and TV shows in the best possible quality with the best user experience, then I would highly recommend this product, particularly if it's your first time buying an Apple TV. Whilst anyone can buy and enjoy this product, it definitely makes more sense for people that are already invested in the Apple ecosystem, as it can be easily integrated with your other devices and services. If you already own the previous generation, should you upgrade? Well, the main upgrade is the new remote control, which you can buy separately. So you have to decide if the other smaller updates justify upgrading the entire thing. For me it was, as this is a device I use every day. As to whether you should purchase this device in 2022, I'd say it's as good a time as any. Apple TV isn't a product that gets regular hardware revisions, so it's unlikely we'll see another generation for a number of years. That's a wrap for this video. I hope it helped you out. I've been Tom Hyphen. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for watching.